we've got 43 stars against WHF. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the Clan War League's rankings and see how our guys at ATN did. We're also going to take a look at their last matchup that they had, which was kind of a determining match for them to make sure that they were placing. So we're going to see where they're at, take a look at that matchup against Tribe Gaming, and we're also going to take a look at some of the new features to come for the World Championships that were just built into the game today. So let's take a quick look in. Now, Clan War Leagues are finally over, and Alternate Attacks did wind up staying in Champion 1. But let's take a look and see how they did. Overall, I think the big focus that we want to keep an eye on, though, is against Tribe Gaming. This was actually their final matchup that they had. You can see here we're on day 7. And it was a perfect war against Tribe Gaming. So this 15v15, they got every single triple down. We're going to take a look at some of the attacks. We'll highlight a few of them, and we'll take a quick look through the rest of the war. But actually, let's take a look through the rest of their season. Let's take a look, see how they did. So we had the perfect war on day 7. Day 6, 41 stars, so not too far off here. Not quite sure who Farce One Bros are, but looked like they tried to put up a good fight. We had Alternate Attacks go up against Minamar Green and pulling in the 42 stars here. So we're seeing a good trend on this one, and defense is holding pretty nicely as well. Also in their 4th day, holding 40 stars, but look at this defense, 33 stars that they were able to hold. Looking good. And let's take a look at War Day 3. We've got 40 stars again. Ooh, 29 stars. So big defenses on this one. Day 2, we've got 43 stars against WHF. So I think you guys know WHF. This was a team that was part of Tribe as of last season. You might see some of these names that you know as well. Sir Longsword, Norse. I know Norse very well. He's going to hate me for shouting this one out. Nicholas, Pablo Escobar, THC Boy, Puma, Lord Kirk, Neza, Hooked. If you guys know Hooked, he's a Clash of Clans streamer over on Twitch. Neza, Brad, Luke, Assad, Zach, Ari, and Tristan, all on the WHF team here. So a massive victory from ATN on that one. And again, some nice solid defenses holding. And day 1 brought us 42 stars against Kopi Hitam. And big defense, 29 stars. So our guys holding not only strong in their defense, but really pulling in some big stars. But this is the war that we want to talk about. Let's talk about ATN and the last match against Tribe. And we'll take a look at a couple of the attacks. So 45-39, Tribe putting up a good fight. But we did have Linnaid holding a defense. 69% 2-star against Kassaler from Inquisition, who's also playing in Tribe. Vala held an 83% 2-star against Tobias, who also plays in Void. If you guys don't know, it's another German team, Inquisition Void, some big German teams in the scene. Kai, wow, Ass holding back Kai with an 84% 2-star. Let's see who else. We have a close one here. I'm not quite sure whose account this is, but we were able to hold back 95% against Stefan. We have Pero holding a 73% 2-star defense against Rico. Most of you guys might know Rico as well. You've seen him playing quite a bit through ESL and some of the other German tournaments. Eve Check, wow, Sir Iron holding Eve Check back 82% 2-star. So nice big numbers here from our guys at Alternate Attacks. Why don't we take a quick look in at a couple of the 3 stars that came in for our guys, and then we'll see where ATN ranks. If we're going to start this off talking about the World Championships, we should definitely bring in some attacks from our MVP. So We've got Vala who's coming in here with the Zapquake Lalo. So this is something that we know he does really well. He's got the 5-1 combination. So we'll look to take out the multi in the center of the base. That also has the air sweeper alongside with it. And we know that we take the multi out because this is where, well, the multi against loons, not ideal, but the center of the base is where we expect to see the majority of the traps. This is what we call the damage zone. So eliminating that for your loon pathing is huge because you limit the path into the traps essentially. And in doing this, you also want to make a connection to what you've already taken out with your heroes. And because it's in the center, it's easy because you're working along the outside edge of the base. You just want to pick up some good value along. Let's keep an eye where the clan castle is, see if we have a plan for it. We do have a poison and a couple of freezes as well. So we take on the eagle early on. King and the royal champ working beautifully together to pick up some nice value. I'm curious to see if it's going to be enough to extend as far as getting down that scatter shot, not with the hound getting lured, but the queen on the opposite side taking on the other scatter shot here. And with that down, the timing is actually kind of perfect because she's able to work, never mind, because she gets taken out really quickly. So we've got the headhunter to worry about, and we've got headhunters, I should say, and the archers, but quick, easy fix here. We've got the poison, lure them into a corner, get them in there long enough that it takes it on. I like that he's trying to drop this loon to get them back in, but it didn't work. He's got the stone slammer here in play, drops a minion to try and get it distracted. He'll have to drop something else to get that taken down. But in the meantime, he's able to get the stone slammer in and start his Lalo. I mean, leave it to Vala to keep that headhunter up and still go through with his attack. He's going to have had a minion or a pup take it out, or the scatter shot damage. So easy peasy, and it's done. So he doesn't worry too much about it, keeps focused, keeps calm, keeps collected, knows that he can find other ways to adjust, but it's good that it stayed away from his warden because that's the biggest thing that we worry about, is it going after the warden. Beautiful toe mobility, keeps everything safely pushing past for the most part. That tornado trap looking to try and keep those loons in the poison bomb, but it doesn't. They're out of that range, so they quickly move past. The haste also help with this. Freeze on the back end and another haste to try and push back through into that wizard tower where we have more back end splash damage that we worry about. So the hastes are very critical on this part of it. A beautiful, beautiful push here from Vala for the 3-star, and you can see all the cleanup he has down and around, even those minions and pups kind of sneaking their way through the haste quickly, speeding along. And the hound was actually in a good position, the defending hound, to just stay out of the way, out of the path of any of those pups and minions, and just to ensure that nothing goes wrong, he pulls it over to the side with another archer. So when you're doing these kind of attacks, it's always good to have a couple of archers in your pockets just for these occasions. So GG to Vala, and let's see what else we have from our guys. So Yo-Yo also coming in with some Lalo action. Now we know ATN has been doing a lot of Lalo attacks lately with the recent change in the meta. It's been working rather well for them, especially the Queen Charge Lalos. Though we just saw Vala with the Zapquake Lalo that uses the heroes more on a hero dive Sui component. So you don't need to charge your way in. It's just all thinking about how you're going to approach a town hall. That's the one reason why we're seeing Queen charges over a lot of pushes in towards a town hall. But we do have a ring style base here, which means we've got, well, I shouldn't say ring style base. We have a centralized town hall here. It's not really full ring style base, but you do have the town hall in the core that you have to worry about. So we either need to find a way to push our heroes in, or a lot of times we're seeing blimps sailing through and other paths because you don't want to push your Lalo into the core again, because we don't want to worry about the possible traps that surround the core. So King's doing a lot of tanking here. We've got the Queen settled on her way. Now the first super wall breaker's down. One more into the scattershot compartment will give the Queen every bit of access that she needs to pick off that town hall, eliminate the passage around, and make a much easier push. But look at the value from the King, the royal champ, the yak together to take on this air sweeper, which may play a lot into the pathing that he goes for. Because we have that down, it means we're going to want to get our Lalo pushing from behind this air sweeper, ideally, unless you use a freeze to hold it off. But We've got this first freeze down coming to take on that scatter shot, give the queen a little bit of room to breathe. We did not make contact with that second layer wall break. We didn't get the queen in. So I'm curious to see if she beats her way through the wall or if she gets distracted. Ooh, single on her, has to force that ability. And it looks like she goes back around. But Yo-Yo already started the Lalo, again, keeping calm, cool, and collected on this one. He switches up to a blimp, sails it into the town hall. Originally, we had the Stone Slammer. So this looks a little bit like a backup plan, a bit of a plan B, just in case he couldn't get his queen working her way in. And it worked out perfectly. A nice sacrifice of the blimp to take that on. We've got that continuous Lalo push. And because he forced his queen ability early, was able to keep his queen alive and unscathed, she's able to help with a lot of the cleanup here. He's got so much tank factor from this hound. Now, while that scatter shot does pick off a couple of the loons in that chunk because of the splash damage, they path their way in very quickly. The queen comes up at a good time to slightly distract it. And again, she helps out quite a bit with the cleanup. Nice use of the minions spread down and around, particularly on the top side where we have the cannon, which poses absolutely zero threat, being a ground targeting defense to those air minions. So really, really nice planning on this one and nice recovery. I mean, these guys are getting very solid with their Lalo plans and just being able to adapt quickly if just small things go wrong. And that's what we've seen through the Worlds with these guys. But let's take another look. And why don't we take a look at one of our players that was just recently added to our team on the 7-player roster. Now, I don't know that we'll get to see him qualifying for the Worlds. I assume we'll go with our 5er team, but maybe I could be wrong. I just think it's worth taking a look at Mask's attack. Mask is the recent addition to ATN to join the 7er team, and we most recently saw him featured in the NACC lineup, so you get to see him playing in those. As far as the Worlds goes, I'm not quite sure if we'll get to see him playing through, if there'll be any rotation or split up, depending on how many opportunities the guys might have to play in. But he's definitely a nice new addition to the team, and we've seen him doing phenomenal work. So let's take a look and see what he has in store for us. We've got 2 ice hounds for this, and I love this. I love seeing Lalos that are very heavy on these ice hounds. A lot of people tend to run with 1. I like when people aren't afraid to use 2 because it offers a ton of power. Now we kick this off, and I actually want to point out that we have 4 lightning spells and a quake to come through on this one. And he's not using super wall breakers. We have him using the regular wall breakers because he's got the ice hound, and he's also got the sneaky goblins to work along. So we start this off. Ice Golem to do the tanking. First layer of wall breaks open for the queen to get access. We're coming in with a straight up hero dive. And there we go. We've got the quakes coming in, the core, just loosening up some of the surrounding defenses right here. We still have 1 more to go to take down this wizard tower. Queen doing great work to take on the eagle. King's going to meet on the opposite side. Now the question is all of this being used to get the royal champ in and limit some of the damage so her seeking shield can take this out? That's what this approach is looking like. King's on the outside edge doing great tanking. Royal champ sneaking her way in. With the king taking on these defenses, that's where we get to see the seeking shield going right off. So we didn't need the extra lightning spells to take out the center of the base. We use a royal champ to actually make that connection, and it saves a lot of value. This is very smart. He even has that 1 lightning spell left over to help with the clan castle. Looking absolutely lovely. So the stone slimer comes in while the wizard and the archer are out there taking care of the distraction for that hound. Not enough to take him down, so it's good that he's in a nice little corner there, nice pocket. And this is actually interesting because the stone slimer starts from that bottom side, but we actually start the Lalo from the top side of the base. Inferno Dragon coming out of the CC, of his CC from that stone slammer to help with the cleanup on the back end. Ooh, we have that amazing push from these ice hounds holding off these freezes to the very end. And because he didn't use as many lightning spells as we need, the loons are able to get through. He can save on the warden ability to just power them along through that poison bomb and be there for the tail end of cleanup. I mean, that's about it for the defense. Is that town hall pretty much last defense standing as the loons swarm around and through. Absolutely Beautiful work here from Mask, and this is exactly why he is an amazing addition to the team. The way that he's seeing these bases, the way that he's thinking about approaching and limiting spell usage so you can get more value using your heroes. Very, very smart thinking, and we can see that he was even able to swag on that as well. So that's some of the performances from our guys here. Now, why don't we actually take a look and see where ATN ranks on the leaderboards? And we did see beautiful stars coming in from the 7 matches, all around 40 and above, including the perfect war that came in against Tribe Gaming in match 7. And that winds up leaving ATN in 5th place on the leaderboard here. So ATN has a nice smooth sailing first day through in the pre-qualifier round where they're not going to have to play because from what I understand, the top 64 will not have to play through the first day. They'll have to play through, I think they get a pass on the first day. But look at this. We've got NGT Legends up there. I'm not quite sure who the second team is. We've got Unicorns of Love. We've got WTK Esports, who as of until like a couple of days ago were kind of up top. And I don't want to skip this because if you guys don't know who NGT Legends are, you will know them when you see some of the names here. Because this is the new team where Bernal and Celinio actually settled into. So if you were wondering what happened to INTZ, there was a bit of a split up in the team. Marinol is now over in Space Station Gaming, and we have Bernal and Celinio over here in NGT Legends. And then we have Loop, who's actually also playing with Caetano in QSFN. So a little bit of a split into 3 different teams with the guys here. But let's continue to take a quick look through where we have the rest of the rankings just to see some of those familiar names. Fusion, Brazilian team right there. We've got Vitang, Town Hall Legend. A lot of these that we know pretty well. JX Tiger, who made a name for themselves in the Worlds warm-ups. They did phenomenal work. Hanoi Royal is definitely making waves as well. We saw them doing beautiful work in the World's warm-ups. We've got Nolex up there. We've got One Hive up there. Eric's got to be pretty proud, I'm sure. Shenzhou. Who else do we have that we know or that I know offhand? If you know some of these teams, shout them out in the comments if I'm skipping anyone. WHF, Itsu's team. Oh my goodness. Itsu's team up here. Let's take a quick look. This is a bunch of Itsu accounts playing. Wow. Now, I assume Itsu will not be qualifying since he is going to be casting, but really cool to see. And I'm curious if they're going to put a team forward to actually play and who that will consist of. So really cool stuff here. And then we've got Tribe Gaming down here in 2nd place in group. So we've got Tribe Gaming, Space Station Gaming, MCES, Team Elevate, who you might know as 11 Original. This is their new esports org. Carnage Gaming right up there. Very, very exciting. We've got Tompanai in there. So a lot of our favorites. Activity, who I actually just streamed going up against MCES in number 57. Omnipotence, who I actually know from some of the leagues as well. We've got Badzinger in there. Wow. So a lot of our favorite teams that have moved up the ranks. Very, very good stuff. So let me know. Oh, Strike back down here at 76 and DK second Brigade. But we do have all of these teams that will hopefully be able to find a way through. I see Penta. Vitang's got another one. Yeah, I mean, the list just goes on. Wow. So let me know in the comments which teams you're most looking forward to seeing in the pre-qualifiers, the teams that are going to get a chance to try and make their way into the Worlds Qualifiers. Now, speaking of, we have a new feature that was just added into the game as I'm recording today. They just did the update. So why don't we take a quick look in? You might see this little Worlds icon here. So a nice new little feature that we have. And this is a tournament hub. So this is where the Worlds are going to be played, where we're going to have the qualifiers played. So take your time, go through it, learn it, live it, love it, read it, understand it. There's a lot to get out of this, but this is going to be really cool because you can see on the homepage, they've got all the features. They give you all the details of what it is. They even give you a guide to understand how to use this hub system. So, it's very important that you go through how to compete. You can click on this here and go through the system and learn just a little bit more. So you can see the tournament pricing. You even have frequently asked questions, tons of stuff that you can actually go through. And one other thing that I actually really like is if you see the 3 lines, the little hamburger icon, you click on that and you can actually go straight to the calendar. It's kind of like a quick guide where you can look how to compete. You can go back to the home portion, or you can take a look at the calendar and see what the dates are. So this is going to keep you up to date as far as when the qualifiers are, the times, the days. So you never need to go anywhere else. You can always go right in game to find out when these are. And they have it scheduled all the way through the qualifiers. The only things that the dates are still to be determined are the last chance qualifier and the Worlds finals. So a really nice new addition, I would say, to the in-game feature, and we'll see how it all plays out when the first pre-qualifiers start off. So we've already gone through the May Clan War League, so then that means the May pre-qualifiers start May 22nd and go through the 23rd, and those are going to be 10 a.m. UTC to 6 p.m. UTC. So that's where ATN stands after the May CWL. Pretty proud of them to place 5th, and they are the reigning 2020 world champs. So we'll see how they do. I mean, it's going to be a lot of pressure, a lot of new great competition coming to the scene, and of course, some meta and game changes with the new edition of Town Hall 14 and the more recent balance changes that came through. So a lot of changes for the guys here, and we'll see how they do. I'll keep you up to date, keep you on track, and we still have our monthly review coming in, so you get to hear from the guys, and I might have a little surprise for you, maybe a special base link or so to come in along with it. But that's about it for now. Until next time, this is Lady B. I'll catch you guys later.
You